Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Buzz. I'm your host, Brad, and we got a special one today. We have Hillary Farmer and Jessica Paxton from Smith.AI. Hello.
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 How are you both doing?
We're doing
Fabulous.
wonderful.
Ooh.
Wonderful. Well, we talk a lot on Buzz about stealth mode, dental marketing ideas, recommendations, everything from website, conversion rate optimization, video content, AdWords, email, you name it. But if offices are not answering the phone and capturing new patient calls, what is the point? For anyone listening, Smith.AI is an incredible call answering service, 24/7, 365. They also do live chat, and we're going to get into their services. But first off, Hillary and Jessica, Hillary, I'll just start with you because I've known you for longer, whatever. And if you could just let us know your title there, what do you do? And then Jessica, you could jump in and just let us, our audience, know what you do there, and an overview also of like Smith.AI services, please.
Absolutely. So hello, everyone. I work with Smith.AI in their partnerships team. I'm a partner account executive. So my whole role in the sales organization is working with agencies, consulting firms, and anyone that really sees the needs of their clients to solve the solution with their customer engagement. So I work very closely with these agencies and kind of prescribe the correct package for each of their client, whether it is virtual receptionist, some chat, or some outside and outsourced sales follow-up. But I'm here to just help prescribe that wonderful package for them.
I love
And
it. You said prescribe.
I love that too. Hi,
Yeah.
everyone. I'm Jessica Paxton, Product Marketing Manager at Smith.AI, and it's my job to tell the product story to not only the marketplace, but also our clients and our partners and everyone in between. So who is Smith.AI and what do we do? That's exactly my job. I have a background in telecommunications and communications technology. So I get really excited about the technology behind what we're doing, all of the artificial intelligence and the telephony that makes our company run on the back end.
It's so cool. So first, I just want to share how I came across Smith.AI and we connected. So I was on a consulting call with one of our incredible clients recently. And at her office, there's been some turnover at the front desk, meaning like they don't have a rock star team member at the front desk, and they were transitioning between people. And I said, listen, we got to find you a call answering service, someone who's great at dental and we trust. And she obviously agreed. And so we were on like a Zoom together doing this. I said, but we got to find someone that's leveraging AI, because I just want to work with companies that are really leaning into AI, because it's ridiculous if you're not, and especially with a call answering service, we have to make sure in terms of scripting and systems, it's really stealth mode. So we were doing this together, and I just Googled call answering service AI, and boom, Smith.AI not only ranked first, but like you own the whole first page. So I'm like, you know what, Angela, let's just call them right now. She's like, okay. So I called on speaker. And by the way, I'm calling just for the client because it's my responsibility to find like a potential call answering option at this point. Because I think she maybe experimented with a few over the years and really didn't love one. So the way one of your representatives answered the phone for me, I was like on it. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like this is so good. Like I'm thinking, how are we not using like it? So I called on behalf of the client, but I was thinking, is it like I'm going to try to use you also. So anyway, the client's using you guys, we're using you guys, love it. It's amazing. I just told you before we started recording, like just in the last couple of days, like you've answered 2 huge calls for us, really important stuff. So anyway, thank you for the service. And I just want to say it's so important because something like 35% of people that call a business or a dental practice and get an answer machine will never call back. So if one of you could explain, like, why is it important that dental offices in particular who are doing all this marketing maybe consider a call service?
Well, it's not only that they're not going to call back, they're also not going to leave a voicemail. And if they do leave a voicemail, let's say they do actually leave a voicemail, if you're not immediately returning that call, we call that speed to lead. If you're not immediately returning that call, you're losing them. they're calling the next person on the list on Google. So we do have, you know, lots of stats that show, we know they're not leaving voicemails. We know they're hanging up and calling the next person. So answering the call is the number one thing you can do to convert clients.
Speed to lead. That's got to be the name of your book, right? You're going to write a book called Speed to Lead?
Yes.
We're definitely going to call this podcast Speed to Lead. The need to answer. Okay, I love that, because the speed to lead, especially for a practice that's maybe focusing on emergency or new patient inquiries. So even if someone does leave a message, let's say they call a Thursday at 7:00 p.m., maybe Monday afternoon sometimes, at best, that practice returns the call and it's phone tag back and forth.
Exactly.
And so how has it been working with dental practices who, I get it, they want control of the schedule. They don't, maybe there's a hesitation to have someone else represent the office. Like, where's the peace of mind for having someone from Smith.AI answer, in terms of, are there language barriers? What about scripting? What about people calling and answering insurance and questions? Like, how do we make sure someone's answering the phone to the best of their ability, just like someone at the practice would?
The proof right there is in the pudding. I mean, you get what you purchase ultimately. And whenever you're shopping around for an answering service, when you're shopping for any service, not just an answering service, you want to make sure that you're buying what fits your needs the best. So shop around, make sure what you're buying is high quality, make sure it fits your needs. If you need something that's going to be able to book appointments, then that's a question you ask when you're looking at different answering services. If you want them to have, like you mentioned, language barriers, being able to speak certain languages, that's something you need to ask when you're shopping around. You know, customers don't want to feel like whoever's answering the call is reading from a script. So here at Smith.AI, we learn about your business, but other than the initial greeting, our agents don't read from scripts. And that's what makes us sound so good, is we learn about your business and we do the intake, but we take the time to listen and have a real conversation versus reading from an actual script. So I would just say, do your due diligence and make sure that what you're buying fits your needs. You know, don't go out and try to buy the lowest cost service, because if you do, then you're going to get what you pay for.
Yeah. Speaking of paying for, so a number of our clients use Smith.AI right now, and a couple times, and I'm just going to say this, but the only negative has been, do you guys know what the negative has been using Smith.AI? They
Tell
go,
me.
Oh,
well, I'm going to tell you, because already a few of them, not all of them, said they didn't realize that the bill would be so high, but it's a quality bill, meaning they didn't realize how many calls they were missing.
Right.
It's like if you have an app, a mobile app, and like you get a massive bill from like AWS, like cloud servicing, that's a good bill, because that means you have like millions of app users. If you get a bill from a call answering service, or it's like exceeds your package, it's a quality. We're not talking, these are real phone calls, not spam or anything.
Right.
Especially if you're using like a new patient hotline, it's a good thing. That means you're getting a lot of phone calls. So it's actually a funny thing, because it's like, oh yeah, it's way more than it was more than I expected, but it's unbelievable, because we did not have a grasp on the amount of calls we were missing. It's almost scary, right? When you start to think about that.
A lot of business owners don't know that they can go inside their voice over IP system today. If you have a modern voice over IP system, you can go inside and look and see how many calls you're missing. Most modern voice over IP systems have, they have reports, they have analytics where you can actually go in and see how many calls are you getting, how many calls are you missing, how many calls are coming in after hours, people wanting to book those appointments, or even on the weekends of people who simply want to book their appointment.
Exactly.
And the big one, lunches, lunch breaks with the dental service. Like, a lot of dental practices take that hour lunch for themselves and their staff. So who's picking the phone up?
Exactly. One of my good friends, who's an amazing dental consultant who does like practice management, he always says, answer the phone with a smile, right? Like, people could hear that in the other line. I'm just thinking, answer the phone. Right? Like, and there's a lot of team members that like rotate like which team member has the mobile device so they get calls on the weekends. I'm like, what are you thinking? Like, this is like a no-brainer. If you capture a half a dozen new patient calls a month on it, it pays for itself, obviously. It's a no-brainer. So also with people using online scheduling, you then could also like not only capture the call and do it in a real seamless way, as long as there's a public facing scheduling function, you could book that person as well.
Absolutely. Go right ahead and see their availability and go book that appointment in real time.
Yeah. And will you explain, like, in terms of the AI, like how should people look at like the AI that you're using, whether it's for scripting your intakes or data? How do you guys leverage AI?
Yeah, I can talk more about that.
Great.
We use AI in a number of ways. On our virtual receptionist side, our AI sits kind of on the shoulder of the receptionist. So we use artificial intelligence to allow our agents to work smarter and work faster so that, ultimately the cost savings then can go on to our clients using AI. They can have those smart conversations without using scripts. So as they're following, we call it their call instructions, as they're following their call instructions and capturing data, all of these different data points, they're able to focus more on the caller. They're not focused on taking notes. They're not focused on following the script. They're not focused on writing out the call summary, because all of that is done on the back end by the AI. They're focused on the caller and having that conversation in the moment. There's a whole lot of other stuff with call recording and call transcriptions and sending data into your CRM. And then we're also currently in the middle of developing an AI first answering solution. So our virtual receptionist product is human answering with AI assisting them, but we're currently developing AI answering with humans as the backup.
Wow.
So that's coming out very soon. It's in early access right now, and it's a really exciting time.
And so I think your founders like originally from Google, or
Yes. Our two founders are tech guys. One of them was the previous CTO of Home Depot and had also worked at Google and worked at as a head developer at YouTube. I mean, he was an intern at NASA, which I love saying, right?
Yeah.
So when Smith.AI was first founded, it was founded with the mindset of, this is call answering, or that whole business traditionally has not had the tech behind it. It's a very traditional business model of throwing people at the problem, and no one had thrown technology at the problem. And we knew, or they knew, we, Smith.AI as a whole, knew that AI really could revolutionize call answering and the whole virtual receptionist field. So that's how Smith.AI got started. The story goes that one of the founders, tried to call a home services and they didn't answer, they didn't call back, and got so frustrated, made his own call answering service. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but that's the story I've heard a million times. So I'm going to go with it.
Yeah. Well, that's what entrepreneurs do. They solve problems that frustrated them.
You solve a problem. And so we're solving this problem by using human intelligence and artificial intelligence combined, which is something no one else is doing right now.
It's like 1 + 1 = 3.
Yes.
How do they name it Smith? What does that come from?
I don't know where that came from. Hillary, do you know?
I actually do. So as Smith is a very common name, and it's like the the runner of everything creative that's back in the day, like your locksmith and like it's a common name that is used.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's where the Smith came about, of just being,
Yeah, that
yeah.
makes
And
sense. I
then
like that.
yeah, so that's where they got Smith, and then obviously AI, because we are going to always have AI's presence in our wonderful products.
I love going with the .ai extension too.
What is Dental Year? Dental Year is the leading marketing app in dentistry. Created by marketers, this resourceful platform helps your dental practice in a variety of ways. Content inspiration, real-time marketing ideas, tips on ROI with your current methods, fresh resources, and lots more.
So tell me about, like, because I love the whole brand of Smith.AI, your website, just everything. It's an amazing presence. So it's obviously an incredible service, but you've obviously built a brand. Like, what's the culture like at Smith.AI? And like, tell us about that, because I want to find where the inspiration comes for everything you do.
Yeah, I can touch on that first. I've been with Smith, I'm coming on 2 years. Two
Nice.
years at Smith, so it's been super fun.
Yeah.
What I really enjoy with our company, we love to be transparent in everything that we do.
Wow.
We are transparent with each other. I have conversations with our founders, and I am a partner account executive, and I have the ability to Slack him messages, both of them. We work really well with different teams, as well. Marketing always works with account executives, but I am very close with the product side. So I know our head of product I've been on calls with. So I just really love that we are all close as an organization,
Yeah.
and keep everything at your fingertips is there to easily search, easily to ask. We are sounds corny, one team, one dream, but I know I
I
can
love that.
lean on my colleagues with cross teams at any moment to help and assist me or my client at hand.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'll add into that. It also is really great that we're a fully virtual company, fully remote,
Nice.
which allows us the opportunity to hire the absolute best, no matter where they are in the world. So that to me is a huge plus. And I mean, it's afforded me the ability. I recently moved to the beach, which was a lifelong dream,
Oh, nice.
since I have this amazing job and I'm not tied to a location. I was like, okay, I'm moving to the beach.
Can you
Let's
say
go.
whereabouts?
Absolutely. I live in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Oh, beautiful. Good call, huh? Amazing.
Yes,
Great call.
absolutely.
Congratulations.
So, some other things that we do is we try to make sure that we're always working on the most important thing. That's one of our core values that we try to live by, is to make sure that what we're doing is going to add value and it's not just busy work.
Wow. Amazing. I love how you said, I love how you said one team, one dream. I mean, that's really, really powerful stuff.
Yeah. It's super fun to know that your voice is heard. Product is always asking us for features, and what we see, we are always giving in requests, not only for us and our clients. It's nice. It's a good organization to be a part of and to
And
grow
you
with.
said that you could Slack the founders. How does that work? Because I feel like whether it's our agency or practices or other businesses, there's not enough people bringing ideas to the top, and there's too much red tape. And I feel like practices who want innovative marketing and cool brands and the ability to get new patients, they need to have all team members bring in the dentist owner ideas, whether it's assistant, front desk, hygienist. So in your company, I'm sure there's a lot of people that work there. You totally have peace of mind. You could Slack and message the founders, you talk with them, and you could bring ideas to them like with zero barriers.
Absolutely. Different workflows. We can send product requests. Obviously it's a one-off and a personal thing. You can always DM, because our whole organization communicates. Our office is Slack. So there's different
Wow.
channels where we can just back and forth with our client success team and support. So we're all hands on deck at pretty much any moment, especially with other team members can help and assist, because as what Jessica said, we are remote, so we're dealing with different time zones at times.
Yeah.
There's always eyes and there's always someone to help a question if that person can't be able to answer it at appropriate time.
Yeah. As you're talking, I'm remembering like some of the conversations recently we've had with offices. And I remember one office saying, I don't think we're going to turn it off, meaning even when we're open and we have our front desk there, we'd rather just delegate and have Smith.AI answer these new calls and have the team focus on the patient experience, clinical excellence, one less thing to kind of deal with, because the service, when it's that good. And the only other time I've heard of people are calling the offices and not knowing it's the office, if like a patient's been there for like 35 years and she doesn't recognize the person on the phone. She's like, who is this? I don't know who you are, because they know the office so well. Otherwise, like no one even knows it's not the office. Like that's the key. It's like social media. If you have someone doing this for the dental office, you want to make sure it like feels and looks like it'd be someone from your front desk posting on Instagram every day. Just like someone answering the phone, it has to be comfortable and anticipatory and fun and friendly and all these things you're doing for offices. It's really tremendous.
Thank you. Absolutely. They love to handle all calls with that in-house feel, very
Yeah.
personable. Our agents are a product, so we put a lot of time and energy in them. We support them. They go through training, and they're just a wonderful group of people. Working remotely too, handling all calls, making sure we're matching the verbiage those dental practices or any one of our clients use, so we can really be that in-house feel for anyone.
Who's coming up with this cop, by the way? Our agents are our products? That's unbelievable. Who wrote that? Did you? That's amazing, Hillary.
Oh, thanks. I pulled it right from my butt. No, just kidding.
But it's so great because your agents are so good. And like, but that's your product, right? And by the way, it was so funny because back to the original story I gave when I called you the first time with my client, it's very difficult to experience someone's product or service as like the initial touch, right? Like you could go book a room at a hotel at a town. You can't guarantee it's going to be comfy and like it looks as good as the website. A call answering service, like if you call them to like ask about the services, that whole experience is the service. You know what I mean? So just that whole initial thing was like, oh my gosh, this is so meta. It's so good. I need to use you guys. And so just recently I was like, wow, that's great. So thank you for that. Will you talk about the live chat a little bit also? Because I know some offices listen to just the phone calls you need right now, but live chat is definitely a game changer as well. If you're getting a lot of traffic on your website, live chat might be another option that Smith.AI offers because it's the same scripting, same agent. So if you don't mind, just tell us a little bit about live chat.
Yeah, we can do that. So our chat can go on your website, and it also can answer your SMS messages. And just like you said, we can use the same instructions and similar information to the virtual receptionist or call answering service.
Right.
That also uses artificial intelligence, actually more so than our call answering side, because our live chat has an AI first answering. So what we do is we take all the data from your website, and our AI will read it essentially and use your website to learn all about your business so that it can intelligently converse with website visitors and answer questions about your practice, which is pretty cool.
I did not know that.
We actually just redid our entire chat product. And then what'll happen is, let's say the AI is answering and it's something that either the AI can't do, or if the person chatting in would prefer to talk to a person, it will actually transfer the chat to one of our human receptionists to take over if it's something that the bot can't handle or something that is better suited for a human to handle.
Wow, that's amazing. That's some AI. So you're basically crawling the website and capturing that through AI.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow. I did not know that. That is stealth mode.
Oh, yes. It's very cool. It's very, very cool.
Wow, this is incredible. So listen, anyone listening who's doing a lot of marketing, who you're doing AdWords and you're getting calls and you know you're getting calls, whether it's Smith.AI or anyone else, I encourage you to get a call answering service to capture these calls. It is crazy. I can't tell you how many times I'll call an office and it not only it goes right to voicemail. Right to, I'm like, what? These are potential, and we work with a lot of cosmetic practices, smile makeovers, implants. These are like really important phone calls. Every single phone call could be a massive case. Forget about the revenue, but you could be changing someone's life, right? The value of a new patient is so important. So I really encourage people, by the way, anyone who's interested in doing a demo, learning about the starter packages, how can they reach out to you? And then also like, if you want to talk a little about like call rail as well, I think we want to cover that as well.
Yeah. So if you have anyone that is using a analytics platform such as CallRail, that's tracking inbound calling or that's tracking those metrics, we use both CallRail and What Converts. They're both partners of ours that are fabulous. Those will help you track where each individual call is coming from. You can get tracking phone numbers and then assign them to your different marketing campaigns. We interface with those as well. So that's another way that you can see exactly where each of these leads is coming from, you know, in addition to using your Google Analytics and the other tools that you might be using on the web as well.
Nice. So both What Converts and CallRail you recommend?
Absolutely. Great. They're both fabulous.
Great, because we use CallRail, but I'm sure both are great options. Absolutely. And by the way, anyone listening, be a data-driven practice, whether it's calls, new patient inquiries, website traffic, always be looking at your analytics so you see where your new patients are coming from, because that's where the opportunities are, right? You don't have to guess where you're spending and where you should spend moving forward. So that's really important. Awesome. So we'll drop a link on the podcast show notes. Should they just go to Smith.AI, or you guys want to tell us your email, or what's the best way for anyone to reach out and get in more information?
Well, anyone who wants to reach out and get more information, we'll definitely give them your referral link, Brad.
Oh, sweet.
What?
Thanks.
Yes.
They get hooked up.
Absolutely.
Nice. All right. Well, I'll drop it on there. I appreciate that. And this is great. Anything else you guys wanted to leave? Oh, by the way, let me ask you, I like to ask guests once in a while, in terms of favorite brands of the world. Hillary, Jessica, what are your favorite brands so we can get a little more marketing inspiration on this pod?
Ooh.
Man,
great question. I'm like, how do I go? Do I go alcohol? Do I go clothing? Do I go
or you go Beats headphones,
Beats headphones. I'm like, where am I going with this?
Beats headphones. No, I have the Razer headphones because I'm a gamer.
Oh, you are really? That's great.
Yes. So
what do you play? What's your game?
Right now, I'm playing a really lame game called Balloons TD6, which is a tower defense game. But the main game that I'm playing right now is Guild Wars. It's a multiplayer online game. I am a warrior.
Exciting.
Nice.
Yes.
That.
I basically ride around on a dragon, and the dragon, you know, flies around and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
When you say multiplayer, how many players at once?
Oh, I don't know. 1 million?
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a pretty big game.
It's awesome.
It's been around for like 11 years too. It's a really long-standing game.
So would one of those games be your favorite brand or something else you think?
Man, I don't know. I think right now, like we mentioned CallRail earlier, they're doing a lot of really cool marketing. I follow their LinkedIn, so I'm constantly seeing what they're doing.
Yeah. And
I'm always drawn to Calendly's LinkedIn stuff.
Oh, interesting. They're a great brand. Great
company. They are. They're always really engaging and
you probably do a lot with them with like in terms of integrations.
We do as well. Yes, we absolutely do. So I see a lot of what they're doing, and we chat a lot. And I tend to also be really involved with local and smaller brands.
Yeah.
So, for example, there is a pet food store near my house, and this is the type of thing that gets me really, really excited when I see like small brands. And whenever I walk into the store, if you take your dog, they will take a Polaroid of your pup or your cat, if you bring a cat, although there's not very many of them, and they'll hang it up on the wall. And there are thousands of them on the wall.
Oh my gosh,
and nothing makes me more happy than going to this store.
Yeah.
I don't even have a dog. This is how much I love this store. I'll just I eat breakfast at the place next door, and I'll just walk in there because it makes me happy. Like, and that's it. It makes me so happy to go there. So I always look for ways to really connect and engage with people on a really one-on-one and like human level, or like on a community level.
Yeah.
Because that to me is what sticks. And like that's really important to dentist office as well, because they're often very local, they're community based. You don't see a lot of franchises and things like that. So when I think about brands, I tend to look at a lot of local brands and see what they're doing in the community.
I love that Polaroid idea. Even practices, dental practices, you take a lot of patient of the day, patient of the week photos.
Yep.
That would be like a really cool kind of old school thing to do it with the Polaroid. And there's some like stealth mode Polaroid, things you could add to a regular phone now. To get all that on a wall would be really interesting, like a patient wall of fame, but with like Polaroids. That would be really cool.
The smile of the day.
Smile of the day.
Yeah.
That's it, Hillary.
Nice,
That's the winner.
All right.
Nice. You're going with Beats, right? Great brand.
I like Beats,
Great.
I'm a big, great brand there. I'm a huge rock climber and golfer. So you got me with organic for climbing. I love all of their stuff. And for golf, if it's a cool ball that I will lose, I love it. The brighter, the better, so I can see it. Just so you know, all golfers are absolutely horrible at the game. There's no good golfer, I realized when I started.
Interesting. I like that. By the way, speaking of good branding, that's funny. You ever go to Titleist.com?
Yeah.
So I'm not a golfer, but I would say Titleist has one of the top 5 brands in the history of the world. I mean, they talk about conversion rate optimization. If you go to Titleist.com, their imagery, like they could have a golfer looking down to the left where his club is, and like to the right of the ball is shop our new apparel. Like their eye lines and pictures are so good. And like every page you go throughout Titleist.com, it could be like a deep link that was like a tournament 7 years ago. And there's like stealth mode pictures and videos. That brand is unbelievable. Whoever they have head of marketing, they have a whole team, obviously, or they are really, really, really good. I mean, I'll go to their website just for inspiration. I don't even golf. It's that good of a brand. I love it.
Oh, I love that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You just like to search all the Pro V ones out there, see which one's going to be the best ball for you.
Pretty much. I'm such a geek. I loved it because like success leaves clues, right? Like it's not by accident. There's these brand dominant companies in different industries, different spaces. Like you look at Purple Mattress, like it's not by accident. They have 30 YouTube videos that are all viral that like have the best Instagram and website. Like, so it's not by accident. These companies are like great stock performance, doing really well. The brand, like people love the brand. They love the product return customers. Same with dental practices. Like it's obvious what practices are doing well, right? They got great marketing, great branding, they're capturing leads, all this type of stuff. So, yes, thank you so much. This is so fun.
Thank you.
A blast. Thank you.
Really great. And everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Buzz. If you follow some of our recommendations on this podcast, you'll generate more new patients, increase revenue, but most importantly, you'll be a Wizard of Buzz.